Today was our second day of back-to-back big news events here in the US. Both PPI numbers and retail sales numbers were released, and we had some interesting results. Month-over-month PPI sales came out way less than expected at negative 0.1%. The core PPI numbers did the same and came out less than expected at 0%. Monthly retail sales barely missed expectations, coming out at negative 0.4%, and core retail sales were the only report to come back as expected, but still came out at negative 0.1%. But that's not all. There's more news coming later on in the day. New Zealand's quarterly GDP comes out later today, forecasted to come out at negative 0.2%. Lastly, Australia's unemployment rate comes out later today as well, expected to drop down to 3.6%. All right, everybody, back in the Edge Finder, let's go ahead and check out the market heat map, see how all of our assets are trending so far today. So up here towards the top, I can see our biggest movers of the day so far. And USD ZAR is our biggest mover of the day, up 1.36% on the day so far, followed by gold, USD CHF, USD CAD, NZD CHF, and CAD CHF. Those are our biggest movers to the upside so far today. We have I'm seeing a lot of red boxes here though, so a lot of movers to the downside, a lot of these dark red boxes too, so a lot of strong movers to the downside. Let's go ahead and take a look at our biggest movers to the downside. Euro JPY, CHF JPY, GBP JPY, Euro USD, Aussie JPY, and CAD JPY. So yen crosses are definitely selling off very hard today. Euro JPY down a massive 2.52% on the day so far. US indices also in the red today. Nasdaq 100, S&P 500, US 30 all in the red. It looks like US 30 is the biggest mover to the downside out of those US indices, down 1.44% on the day. Yeah, we had that disappointing PPI and retail sales numbers. They pretty much all came out worse than expected, except for core retail sales that came out as expected, but still in the negative. You know what? Just for fun, why don't we check out the Smart Money Tracker and retail sentiment? These are two tabs that I normally don't take a look at in these videos, but I'm curious to look at what COT data and what retail sentiment is saying today. So here in Smart Money Tracker, what we're taking a look at is, again, COT report data. This is institutional trader data or smart money traders. These are hedge fund guys, the guys that are getting paid big money to trade. We can actually take a look and see what they are going long and short on. So over here on the right, we have our most bullish or most long assets, and currently the euro is our most long asset at 76.82% long and 23.18% short. On the other hand, our most bearish or most shorted asset is the Canadian dollar, currently 73.07% short and 26.93% long. We can also take a look at something like the US dollar and see that institutional traders are favored long on the dollar, 64.97% long and 35.03% short. If you're interested, we also have the complete breakdown right here. We can see the total number of long contracts open, the total number of short contracts, the changes long and short from the last data release, as well as their percentages over here. And we have our most bullish asset up top and our most bearish asset at the bottom. So that was a quick look at COT data. We can also take a look at retail sentiment, and this is day traders, what day traders are going long and short on. Taking a look at our major pairs right here. These are US dollar pairs. Euro USD, our most long pair, kind of following in suit with the COT data. So Euro USD, our most long US dollar pair, 86% long and 14% short. USD CAD, again, same, following in suit with the COT data there, 83% short, 17% long there from the day traders. Why don't we take a look at our minor currency pairs as well? I'm going to do minor currency pairs only, and we can see Aussie CHF is our biggest or our most long asset, 96% long, 4% short. USD ZAR, on the other hand, our most shorted minor currency pair. I know that it is technically a US dollar dollar pair, but because it's not quite as commonly traded as those other major currency pairs, we kind of focus on those. USD ZAR gets kicked to the minor currency pairs, unfortunately. But yeah, that is our most shorted minor currency pair, 86% short, 14% long. So quick little look at Smart Money Tracker and retail sentiment, just a little something extra for you today. Let's head on over into the watch list, remove any indices or commodities that we might have, and we are left with all of our currencies that are our currency crosses that are currently a buy or a sell bias. So we have 3 strong buys, 3 strong sells, and those are USD CAD, NZD CAD, and USD ZAR on the buy side, and Euro USD, Aussie NZD, and Aussie USD on the sell side. Aussie NZD and especially Aussie USD have just sat at that strong sell -10 score for a while now. And on the other hand, USD CAD has sat at that strong buy +8 score for a while now as well. So I don't know about you, but I love taking a look at buys. I like looking at buys more than I like looking at the sells. So I'm thinking we're going to go with a buy today. And NZD CAD is our newest member to the strong buy club. NZD CAD was not listed as a strong buy yesterday, so why don't we check this one out today just for fun. NZD CAD, we do have New Zealand GDP numbers coming out later today, currently at 2%, but those new quarterly GDP numbers for New Zealand are forecasted to drop. So let's check in on NZD CAD, strong buy bias score of +8, COT data a score of +2, and retail sentiment a score of +1. We can take a look at those numbers right over here. So here is that same COT data that we were taking a look at earlier. New Zealand dollar 69.67% long, 30.33% short from the institutional traders, and the Canadian dollar, again, we already took a look at this, our most shorted asset from the institutional traders, 73.07% short, 26.93% long. Retail sentiment, on the other hand, 66% short, 34% long from the retail traders or the day traders. Seasonality is a score of +1 as well, and we can see here that in the month of March, historically speaking, over the last 10 years, when we take a look at the month of March individually over those last 10 years and see how has NZD CAD performed in that month, well, historically speaking, it performs just a little bit bullishly, and of course that is what we're seeing so far this month as well. Trend reading is a score of +2, and we can see that it's been making some nice upward moves over the last couple of days. It seems like ever since March 8th, it's pretty much just gone higher and higher, and then has come down just a tiny bit today from yesterday's highs, but we can actually see that in the market change up here, it is up just barely. It's pretty much at break even from where it started out today. Price forecast does predict that it will continue to make some upward moves. However, let's finish up with our fundamentals. GDP growth, unemployment, and interest rates all scores of +1. Inflation is our one lone -1 score right there. Let's get into those fundamental numbers right over here. So again, New Zealand GDP growth, new report coming out later today, expected to drop, but currently sits at 2% GDP growth. Canada's GDP growth, 0% currently. Inflation in New Zealand, 7.2% compared to 5.9% in Canada. Unemployment in New Zealand, 3.4% compared to 5% in Canada. And lastly, interest rates on the New Zealand dollar, 4.75% compared to 4.5% on the Canadian dollar. So there we go. NZD CAD breakdown for you. Strong buy bias score of +8. Looks like a nice one to keep your eye out for. And keep in mind that we do have that New Zealand GDP report coming out later today. I'll also remind you really quickly that if you are interested in this software, we do have 3 different versions of it available. We have a free version of the Edge Finder available for you right now in the link in the description below. You can go click that link and get access to the free version of the Edge Finder. It is a limited version of the Edge Finder, but does have a lot of the same information that you're looking at. For example, the market heat map is something that is available with the free version of the Edge Finder. The market heat map is one of my favorite things to look at every day. So you can actually get access to that same software with the free version. down in the description below. But if you're interested in the Edge Finder Basic, which has a few more features at a cheaper price than the Edge Finder Pro, which is the full Edge Finder with every single feature available, along with every update, everything that we add. In the future, you will get free of charge. It just gets updated automatically in the Edge Finder. Once you have it for life, so no need to worry about paying for any upgrades in the future. If you want the Edge Finder Basic or Edge Finder Pro, you can get it at a discounted price when you use code A1YT at checkout. So go check out the links in the description below to see if you want to get the Edge Finder free, Basic, or Pro for yourself.
We've got about 1 minute, guys. What I've got here is I've got the euro in the top left. I'm going to put gold on the top right so that we can watch that together to see how this spike plays out. And I've got, let's do on the bottom right, let's do the S&P 500. So to give you guys some clarity here, we are looking at the euro over here. We are looking at gold on the right. We're looking at the S&P on the bottom right and the dollar yen on the bottom left. Okay, so these are currently the charts that we are paying attention to. And again, got about 20 seconds here before the release, and then we're going to go through the numbers together. So don't go anywhere. We'll see what the numbers bring us and if they cause any sort of serious volatility or not, like yesterday, where we got sort of spikes in both directions without immediate any sort of decisive move. Again, coming in here in about 5 seconds, we should see some numbers start to roll in. Please remember, feel free to drop those numbers in the chat if you have them, to share them with the audience. And here we go. So a bit of a initial reaction here to the upside for euro dollar. We've got gold rallying a little bit here, dollar yen down. We've got S&P 500 making a bit of a move to the upside, but nothing too substantial. And again, let's look out for some numbers here, see if we can find something. The initial spike here going against the dollar, it seems. And let's see if we get any numbers. We're going to go just refresh the page here and see if we get anything here. So again, waiting for the numbers. Okay, so Empire State Manufacturing Index came out less than expected. PPI less than expected by a pretty substantial amount. Retail sales less than expected, and now waiting for core PPI, which, if following suit, is also less than expected. Wow, quite a bit of a miss there on the US dollar. Let's see, how are things holding up so far? And we'll go to full screen now, see how things are moving for this. So here is the Euro USD, initially spiked to the upside just a bit. Here's the dollar index, which did come down a bit, but not a substantial. So just kind of pulling back on its moves there. Let's kind of rotate around and see what other things are doing. So here's the euro that we just pulled up. So euro, not too much volatility there. Pound USD did also have some news, and it seems like bouncing a little bit stronger is the pound, possibly due to some of that UK news, which let's just take a look at the annual budget release. Released annually. This document outlines the government's budget for the year, including expected spending and income levels. Okay, so that caused a little bit of volatility extra on the pound. We've got things like dollar yen down pretty substantially here on the 4-hour chart. Look at that candle. That is a nasty candle there to the downside there. On top of that, you've got things like the NASDAQ 100. If we take a look at this, NASDAQ finding some support here, which is kind of interesting. Here's your 5-minute chart. A big pop initially here on the NASDAQ. You've got the S&P 500 doing the same. Let's see, what else do we have? NZD USD, we could take a look at this one. Spiked initially, now pulling back just a bit. Seems like a lot of yen pairs, specifically things like NZD, JPY, we've got CAD yen. These things down pretty tremendously here this morning. We're looking at a 5-minute chart, just going through some of the spikes here. And yeah, this is pretty incredible. So you've got things like the yen crosses selling off. You've got also, let's see what else we've got. I wonder if any other pound pairs are moving. Pound CAD caught a lot of spike there. Hold on. So what's going on with this pound yen also? Initial, not too much there to the downside still. Let's see, CAD JPY. Let's see, what else do we have? Right now I'm just trying to look around and see what everything is doing. Let's go back to gold. Gold, again, exploded through the highs yesterday. Of yesterday, right? You can see we were able to get above that and still holding strong. This is reading bullish for the gold market as price continues to be able to stay above this level. That's pretty pretty respectable for the gold bulls here as we stay above that 1950 mark. We're now in the 1920s. We'll have to see if that's able to do anything substantially. Guys, we are sharing updates on our Discord channel. If you're not already inside of our Discord channel, this is what it looks like. Hold on, let me pull it up so you can see it. So inside of our Discord, we share trade ideas, we have chat rooms and all sorts of good stuff. If you're not already in there, we're going to drop a link in the chat to do so. Click this link, fill out that form, and you'll be allowed to join our Discord channel. We have a free version now available. Just fill that form out, and you can join us there. We'll be covering the market between myself and Frank, who does a lot of our readable content. We're covering everything going on with financial markets right now. Whether you're a forex trader, indices trader, whatever trader, it can likely be something helpful to you. So make sure to check that out if you have not already. The link is in the chat right now. You just fill out that form. And yeah, what a crazy couple days, truly. I mean, the dollar here, we'll go back to the dollar. Dollar sort of stunted a little bit in its bullishness, but hasn't totally fallen apart either. Again, the dollar very strong, partly due to the fact that, again, a lot of fear around the banks collapsing around the world and that sort of thing. That fear of that potentially becoming a bigger thing is causing the dollar to be quite strong right now, which is really interesting to pay attention to. Didn't move as much as expected so far. Yeah, news is weird. I mean, sometimes you get some crazy volatility and other times you just don't.
Don't forget to check out the links in the description if you want our broker recommendation, access to our free Discord, free Edge Finder, or want to chat with us on Telegram. Remember, you can watch us live in the markets every morning starting at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time, and we have lots more free trading tools and content available on our website, a1trading.com. Thanks for watching.